If you thought the story of Jay-Z and Beyonce was over, you better think again, because 50 Cent recently entered the picture and offered some insightful commentary that completely changed the course of events. You may recall how fans have been criticizing Jay-Z, accusing him of being a manipulator who pushes Beyonce into dubious situations. Well, 50 Cent is here to clarify that everything has been misconstrued. Not only is Beyonce just as messy as Jay-Z, but he's suggesting she might even be worse. And he came with receipts and got this 5050. But he also claims that not only was Beyonce adly involved in Diddy's freak-offs, but she is trying to make Jay-Z take the blame for their drama by setting him up for failure and throwing him under the bus when it all hits the fan chili. There's a lot to unpack here because 50's revelations are shocking, to say the least. Grab a seat because this Hollywood drama is reaching new heights, especially when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyonce. If you've been living under a rock, let me fill you in. There are rumors that Beyonce is seriously considering packing her bags and divorcing Jay-Z. This situation has been brewing for a minute, and for a while she thought Beyonce was ready to leave because she was fed up with Jethers. There have been a lot of reports about how Jay-Z isn't exactly the poster child for a good guy, with a history of shady business and questionable activities behind the scenes. I won't get into all the messy details of his accusations. I'm sure you've heard the reports by now. For a long time, people saw Beyonce as just another of his victims, particularly considering her nearly flawless image and the fact that she was so young when they first started dating. In an interview, Beyonce discussed this, stating that she was 18 when they first met and that there was no rush for her to run off and get married. That is a very noticeable age gap. But it gets worse because in a 2007 Charlie Rose interview, Jay-Z claimed to have met Bey 10 years prior, or in 1997 if they had first gotten together. Met in 1997, and Beyonce may have been as young as 15, depending on when they actually got together. Because of all of this, people tend to view Beyonce as a victim, frequently excluding her from conversations when Jay-Z is criticized for his alleged inappropriate behaviors, even in cases where the couple is under fire for allegedly blackballing other artists in the industry. The focus usually shifts into Jay-Z and his alleged inappropriate behavior, abuse of authority, while Beyonce is able to avoid the spotlight due to her status as the media's darling. 50 Cent is here to change that. He is prepared to reveal some insider information, and let's just say that his opinions of Beyonce aren't particularly flattering. When blogger Storm Monroe first broke the news of the divorce a few months ago, everyone applauded Beyonce for standing her ground and divorcing Jay-Z. However, after 50 Cent made some remarks, it appears that we might have made a mistake from the beginning.
But what I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z's up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to answer this something. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce. Okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They've built this beautiful life.
Fans were thrilled about the prospect of Beyonce splitting from Jay-Z, especially after Storm hinted that the singer would soon be heavily exposed. I'm not talking about gossip here. I'm talking about Diddy-level exposure for some really outrageous things he's done in the past. What's even more shocking is that Storm wasn't the first to reveal that Jay-Z would be facing the music industry following Cassie's explosive lawsuit that held Diddy accountable for some truly horrifying things. Birds of a feather flock together, and it appears that Jay-Z and Diddy may be among them. The streets are speculating that Jay-Z may be just as shady as Diddy, and given all the allegations against Diddy, people were a little relieved to hear Beyonce was considering divorce on top of that whole age thing. Dagwa Wright intervened to say that Jay-Z was next in line to be exposed. She even claimed that the reason Jay-Z hadn't been exposed yet was that he was simply smarter and more cautious than Diddy. But his luck had run out, Gap thing. Let's not forget that Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce multiple times over the years. I'm not just talking about that infamous Becky with the good hair drama. He's been cheating since the very beginning of their relationship. Reports say Jay started cheating just a few months after they got together, and one of the first names that popped up was singer Charlie Baltimore. If you've been following this mess, you probably caught the rumors about their affair happening right under Beyonce's nose for those who might not be up to speed. Back then, Charlie Baltimore was romantically involved with the illustrious Notorious Big, also known as Bert. Eventually, reports say she became bored of being the sidekick while Jay-Z flaunted his relationship with Beyonce, so she ended things with him. However, Jay-Z didn't handle it well at all. He became envious when Charlie moved on to another man, to the point where he risked going to jail. Recall the time he was arrested for dating a man at a club when a producer claimed the man was illicitly distributing bootleg copies of his album Volume 3, Life and Times of S. Carter. The two met at a club, and Jay pulled out an 8-inch knife and went for it. However, insiders, including 50 Cent, are calling BS on that entire narrative. That's next level petty, and 50 Cent isn't alone in this rapper. Cameron backed him up, confirming that the stabbing was all about Charlie. 50 Cent claimed that the real reason for it was that Jay-Z couldn't handle it, like getting mad at your former side piece for moving on while you're dating Beyonce.
It wasn't over no money. It wasn't over being righteous. What was it over? A chick? What we don't do is we don't fuck with our homies' ex-bitches.
Bow.
You feel me?
You know who that is now,
I
right?
said bow. Charlie Baltimore.
There you go.
Speaking of 50 Cent, he's returning to the spotlight to comment on the divorce issue. And let's just John exactly rooting for Beyonce instead he belation. For those who may not be aware, Jay-Z Beyonce became embroiled in a long-running spat between 50 Cent and Jay-Z when she spoke up to support her partner. Let me now briefly explain the history of how this meet first began. Jay-Z and 50 first became tense that day when 50 disked To Be Fair. Jay-Z wasn't the only target in 50 Cent's How to Rob. He went in on a whole lineup of top artists, including Lil Kim Foxy Brown. Two people have always speculated that Jay-Z did it for clout, especially since Jay was already a major player in the game while 50 was still on the rise. The 1999 hit song How to Rob was actually 50 Cent's first big hit. Diddy, Missy Elliott. The beef between Jay-Z and 50 has dragged on for so long because Jay-Z is known for holding grudges. Eventually, Jay-Z responded with his own diss track titled It's Hot, Some Like It Hot, in which he famously said, "Go against your dents. I'm about $1. What the F is 50 Cents?" Will Smith and a number of other artists from that era rapped what J50 just sold, like 4 milli he got something to live for. I don't want a man putting forward through that Bentley coupe d'or. In the end, 50 Cent acknowledged that he was seeking influence when he mocked Jay-Z and the other rappers in a Rappers in a Rolling Stone interview. 50 Cent said when he responded, "I was complimented he wouldn't say anything back to someone he didn't think was hot. I never went to the radio till after he said that about me. I don't know if my career would be where it's at if he didn't answer anyhow back to the dispute with Jay-Z." In another interview, 50 Cent stated that he didn't get along with Jay-Z because the rapper had a king complex and thought he was effing Jesus. "I'm just watching him, but he said something once, and I didn't like those little things, subliminal things. To me, that's the punk way to do things." In an attempt to refute the allegations of a dispute, Jay-Z said that he and 50 were getting along. However, 50 was not going to allow this story to spread, so he quickly came out to state that he and Jay-Z were not on favorable terms. He further asserted that they will never be friends, saying, "We don't have those kinds of relationships. These are people I associate with. We are in the same business. We don't call each other for no reason." However, it turned out that Beyonce was not a fan of 50 Cent constantly making fun of her man. Even though she and Jay-Z had not started dating when his beef with 50 Cent began, she continued to support him, and things got so messy that 50 Cent revealed that she even tried to fight him, saying things like, wait, what is that stew? That's me and Jay's stew. That's not connected to you." Of course, 50 Cent, being 50 Cent and pointing the 50 Cent, could not resist making a joke out of the situation. You had to restart the idea that Beyonce wanted to fight 50 Cent over Jay-Z. To be honest, it helps to explain why 50 is among the few that recognizes her true self and feels she is not the victim that everyone considers her to be. 50 believes that she is not a victim, and he goes so far as to suggest that she may be more responsible than Jay-Z, claiming that she is the. You may recall that time when her former bodyguard spoke about how she and Jay-Z were relations surrounding Jay-Z and Beyonce's marriage over the years, but it seems like Jay-Z often catches the brunt of the criticism while Beyonce stays out of the spotlight when it comes to scandals. Recently, a former bodyguard claimed that Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship is nothing more than a strategic business merger, designed to elevate both of them to the top of the entertainment industry. And eventually to billionaire status. According to this bodyguard, there is no real love between the couple, and their marriage is purely financial, meant to serve their mutual goal of success. He ominously warned that what's hidden in the dark will eventually come to light. These kinds of claims, while startling, aren't exactly new. Rumors have been swirling for years that Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship is more about business than love. They are, after all, two of the biggest stars in the world, and their combined net worth has placed them in an elite circle of power couples. However, it's not just the public's suspicion that there's more going on behind closed doors. Recently, 50 Cent made some eye-opening comments about the couple's relationship, pointing out that Beyonce may have been involved in shady dealings long before this conversation came up. One particularly eyebrow-raising situation involved Beyonce's former drummer, Kimberly Thompson, who came forward with some shocking accusations. Thompson, who had worked closely with Beyonce for several years, claimed that the singer had engaged in some sinister behavior behind the scenes. After her attempts to expose Beyonce, Thompson was mysteriously silenced, leaving many people wondering what really happened. According to Thompson, Beyonce allegedly practices occult activities, and she even accused the singer of using witchcraft and dark magic against her. Thompson's allegations went further, claiming that Beyonce had been harassing her through extreme measures. In an interview with the Daily Beast, Thompson stated that Beyonce was behind a campaign of harassment that included the use of dark magic and spells. Thompson even alleged that the singer was responsible for the death of her kitten, which she claimed was a part of the occult rituals Beyonce supposedly practices. The drummer also believed that Beyonce had been tapping her phones and controlling her finances, although she didn't provide much clarity on why she thought Beyonce would be targeting her specifically. Despite these shocking claims, Thompson has remained adamant that Beyonce is responsible for the bizarre occurrences in her life. She even took to Instagram to speak out about her experiences, insisting that the world needed to know the truth about Beyonce's alleged behavior behind the scenes. However, since making these accusations, Thompson has largely faded from the public eye, and the story never gained widespread traction, leaving many to speculate about the truth of her claims. Beyonce's public image has always been tightly controlled, portraying her as a powerful yet reserved figure who is deeply committed to her craft and her family. The idea that she might be involved in something as dark as witchcraft seems wildly out of character with the public persona she has cultivated. However, these types of allegations, particularly those involving high-profile celebrities, often spark intrigue and conspiracy theories, especially among those who question the nature of fame and power in the entertainment industry. While Thompson's accusations might seem far-fetched to some, they also raise questions about the lengths people in powerful positions might go to in order to maintain their influence and control. Whether or not there's any truth to these claims, they add fuel to the speculation surrounding Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship, which has always attracted a mix of admiration, curiosity, and skepticism. As with most rumors involving celebrities, it's difficult to separate fact from fiction. For now, Beyonce and Jay-Z continue to present themselves as a united front, using their influence and power to dominate both the music industry and various business ventures. Whether their relationship is built on love or financial ambition, one thing is clear: they have successfully cemented themselves as one of the most powerful couples in entertainment history, and the public remains fascinated by the mystery surrounding their personal lives.
Over time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, all just a very wicked tactic to just keep me down and keep me under some type of control.
Initially, when Beyonce's former drummer, Kimberly Thompson, came forward with her allegations against the pop star, most people dismissed her claims as an attention-grabbing stunt. Many assumed Thompson was trying to use Beyonce's fame to propel herself into the spotlight, and the accusations were largely ignored by both the public and the media. However, things took a more serious turn when Thompson went so far as to file a restraining order against Beyonce. At this point, people began to take her claims more seriously and started questioning if there could be any truth behind her dramatic accusations. Kimberly Thompson claimed that Beyonce had been harassing her for years, using dark magic, witchcraft, and extreme spiritual practices to target her. Or according to Thompson, this campaign of harassment had escalated to the point where she felt compelled to seek legal protection. Filing for a restraining order wasn't just a minor step, it was a bold move that forced people to reconsider the narrative. While the restraining order was eventually denied, the legal action caused a stir, leading some to wonder whether there might be more going on behind the scenes than meets the eye. Among those paying close attention to the situation is 50 Cent, who has never been one to shy away from sharing his opinions about fellow celebrities. Over the years, 50 Cent has been vocal about the cracks in Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship, suggesting that the couple's image of unity and power may be more of a facade than reality. He has hinted that there is far more drama happening behind the scenes, particularly when it comes to Jay-Z's alleged infidelity and Beyonce's responses to it. While many people have long suspected that Jay-Z has been unfaithful to Beyonce for years, the narrative that she simply tolerates his behavior has been widely accepted. Jay-Z himself even addressed his infidelity in his 2017 album 44, where he opened up about how he and Beyonce worked through their issues and supposedly repaired their marriage. The couple presented a united front, appearing to have moved past the difficulties in their relationship and focusing on their family and careers. However, 50 Cent believes the story is more complicated. He suggests that Beyonce has been making strategic moves behind the scenes, quietly handling the situation in a way that preserves her power and control within the relationship, rather than sitting idly by and tolerating Jay-Z's infidelity. Beyonce may have been playing a long game, taking calculated steps to ensure that she remains on top. This idea adds a new layer of intrigue to the power couple's relationship. While Jay-Z has been more public about his mistakes and the process of healing their marriage, 50 Cent hints that Beyonce has been far less forgiving and considerably more tactical in her approach. It raises the question, is Beyonce as passive in her relationship as the public is led to believe, or has she been quietly maneuvering behind the scenes to maintain her own power and protect her interests? Furthermore, the rumors surrounding the couple's marriage being more of a business arrangement than a love-driven partnership have been circulating for years. According to some, Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship has always been centered on their shared ambition to become one of the most influential and wealthiest couples in the entertainment industry. According to this theory, their personal relationship is secondary to their financial empire, and they stay together for strategic rather than emotional reasons. Whether or not there's any truth to these rumors, one thing is clear: the public remains endlessly fascinated by Jay-Z and Beyonce's marriage. Despite their efforts to present a united front, the persistent rumors of infidelity, business arrangements, and behind-the-scenes drama continue to generate speculation. Both Beyonce and Jay-Z have built their careers on their ability to maintain control over their public images, but the cracks in their relationship, whether real or exaggerated, only seem to heighten the intrigue surrounding their lives. In the end, it's difficult to say how much of this drama is based in reality and how much is the product of speculation. However, as more people, including figures like 50 Cent, pay attention to these accusations, it becomes clear that Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage will always be subject to scrutiny and fascination. Whether it's about their alleged business arrangements, Jay-Z's infidelity, or Beyonce's rumored strategic moves, their relationship remains one of the most talked about in the entertainment world.
For us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For black men and women, to see a different outcome. Like you were saying, it's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities.
That's beautiful.
Like real people.
Yeah.
Additionally, 50 Cent asserts that Jay-Z and Beyonce's reconciliation was not only due to family therapy. He says there's another strategy at play. It's intriguing that 50 Cent is bringing up this subject now, especially in light of recent reports that suggest Beyonce may have had a hand in ruining Tia Marie's career. Apparently, Beyonce discovered that Tia was allegedly involved with Jay-Z behind the scenes, and she was not having it. Everyone knew that Jay-Z seemed to have a soft spot for Tara, but at the time we just assumed it was because of her undeniable talent as an artist. The Rock is a princess, but rumors have it that she was having extramarital affairs with a few other guys in addition to Jay-Z, which was kind of weird since, at the time of all this, according to this blind item, she wasn't exactly legal. The music executive who managed both Tira and Rihanna once revealed that Beyonce influenced him to pay more attention to Rihanna than to Tira. This is quite fascinating. Beyonce allegedly found out about the affair and put her foot down, insisting that Jay-Z get rid of Tara. However, it was not enough for him to get rid of her because allegedly Beyonce decided to ruin Tara's career as well. We had a showcase, and during it, 2 artists performed. Tyra Marie is a really sweet girl, and in all honesty, I was paying a little more attention to her than to Rihanna. After the showcase, Beyonce gave me one of those looks, and he told me that Rihanna was a beast and she turned away. I thought, well, I did a double take. According to 50 Cent, this doesn't mean that Jay-Z is exonerated of the accusations made against him. He claims that Jay has allegedly been involved in some seriously sketchy things that are about to come to light, and that's supposedly the real reason Beyonce is going to get divorced from Jay-Z. 50 asserts that Beyonce is not as innocent as the public perceives her to be, contending that Jay-Z's overt support of her at this year's Grammy Awards was really a last-ditch effort to win her back and get her to reevaluate the divorce.
It's music and it's opinion-based, but, some things, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won album of the year. That doesn't work.
Oh, and you all know how the rumors went around that Jay-Z was at Diddy's freak-offs. Well, 50 is now saying that Beyonce was actually there the entire time, that she directed some of the freak-outs herself, and that Diddy got it all on tape. Fans commented that she was only leaving because his closet was about to be cleaned out, so she probably knew more than she was letting on. I'm over this whole mess, and I love that 50 always tells it like it is. Yes, this is a hot mess, and 50 is being really daring to spill the beans because you know how Beyonce and Jay-Z feel about it. However, let me know what you think about this situation, and don't hesitate to watch the next video.